gods and mortals meet. Legends rise from ancient stone. Heroes' fates are yet unknown. Travial, where the echoes call. In the night the darkness falls. Through the storm, through the flame, heroes rise to carve their name. From the ruins of the past to the battles that will last, every choice a path to tread. In this world where fate is led, Travial, where the echoes call. In the night the darkness falls. Through the storm, through the flame, heroes rise to carve their name. Through the trials, through the pain, destinies in blood are stained. Magic weaves the threads of time. In Travial, where legends glide. Travial, where the echoes call. In the night the darkness falls. Through the storm, through the flame, heroes rise to carve their name. So gather close, the tale begins in Travial, where the dark wind sings. Join the fight, take up the call, for in this world, heroes rise or they fall. Where the echoes call, in the night the darkness falls. Through the storm, through the flame, heroes rise to carve their name.
Okay, there it goes. Welcome, everyone, to the Travial Planar War. Yay! I know it's been a while since we've met, and I apologize for that. Life did eat me.
Yes. We would much. Yes.
All right. Of course, my name is Ruby Mad Hatter. I am the Dungeon Master of this game, or the Game Master, whichever term you prefer. I am also playing the NPC traveling with a party named Sylvana Frostfire, who is an elven alchemist. She, her pronouns for that character. Guy, you're up. Introduce yourselves, good sir.
I am Fat Guy. I'm the one that likes to try to help Inquisition derail any and all plans that the Arbiter of Evil, that AKA likes to call himself the DM, does.
All right. Fedorian?
Bonjour. I'm Fedorian. Normally, I am the 100% stabby drow that also enjoys derailing Ruby on a regular basis. But for now, instead, I am the more stable-ish human cleric of Amuketna, goddess of knowledge, and Belle, and who is also a spiritualist, accompanied by a phantom of hatred she calls Miss Daaye.
All right, Melody, you're next.
Hi, I'm V. I'm married to Jose, and I love Jose, but to be honest, he's not very. He doesn't really notice things sometimes, like the fact that I'm not just a bard, but I also punish people who've been really, really naughty. And he's never asked where I go when I do these things, and I'm beginning to wonder why.
All right, Jose, you're up.
Greetings, lovable, loyal, possible worshippers of Amnuketna. I am an Inquisitor of Amnuketna, and as my lovely wife has just mentioned, I too am a cat person. While it is my divine duty to march forward through the world, spreading the word of the great Amnuketna, I often and will often state that my dear, lovable wife is a blessing from Amnuketna directly. As of yet, no one has asked what I mean by this, and he's hoping no one ever does. With that, I leave the rest up to the Game Master.
The next character who's on the list is Anne, who plays Draha Kulir, a ASMR cleric of Grasp Firehand. She did not get to go to sleep today because every time she almost almost fell asleep, the fire department's alarms would go off, and they would because they were going around the neighborhood pretending to be Santa and elves and throwing out candy to kids. Yeah, they're giving kids candy canes. So,
A wonderful thing, but it's like when you're trying to sleep and things keep going off. Oh, I feel for her.
Yeah,
so bad.
She is hopefully sleeping now. I spent almost 2 hours cuddling her, massaging her, all that jazz, trying to get her to go to fucking sleep for just one goddamn siren to ruin it.
Partner goals. Never mind.
Well, I mean, in D&D, you do have Sylvana and Rye, so there's lots of,
growing potential there. Oh, yes.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. And a certain Rye is hiding something. Hell doesn't know, but me as a player, I'm just sitting here squirming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there is that, and then the last one, of course, is Angel Woman. Take it away. Introduce yourself, madam.
Hello, I play the curious fox who doesn't understand books but tries to.
Fair enough. Rai Hajime is a kitsune polearm fighter, so very good at poking things to death.
Yes, I'm very protective.
All right.
Yes. Which we will be demonstrating here momentarily.
Yep.
All right, so where we left off last game, you guys successfully made it all the way to Firewing Outpost, finally.
Finally!
Yes. You made it all the way. You stopped in Nevisnoy. You ran into a couple of guys. One was he was kind. He was friendly. The other one was basically a giant asshole. So there is that.
But the thing that got us eager to leave, well, at least got Belle eager to leave, is the tendency for the nobility of Corinthia to go, ooh, you're interesting. I keep you. You're not cooperating? I keep you anyway.
Yeah. Rights? What are those? You don't have those. You're a peasant.
I like calling people peasant.
Yeah. No,
Wrong character.
I thought you enjoyed calling people incompetent.
No, I was
Wrong
referring to
character.
it in real life.
Yeah.
If they don't agree with the things that I like or my views, they're peasants.
Silence, dirty peasant.
Exactly.
All right.
Wow.
With that being said, you guys did make it to Firewing Outpost, and upon arriving there, you did realize that there was a notice board in town, it's right on the docks, because that's a good place to keep a notice board. And some of you noticed that there was a wanted poster for Sylvana. Now, mind you, the amount for the payment for it was 50 crowns. All right, so AKA 50 gold pieces.
And
So-
that was for just information.
Yeah, just information where she is, what's going on, so on and so forth. So it's not enough to like really make it worthwhile for most people. But it still made Sylvana kind of panic.
And it also made panic. In
Yeah.
fact,
Go ahead.
Even the enigmatic Hidan got concerned, and there was a bit of a back and forth about whether or not Sylvana should go with him, or whether or not we should hide in an invisibility bubble while he went and got a hold of some of his connections with was it the Thieves Guild or the Assassins Guild?
The Assassins
Thieves
Guild.
Guild.
Oh, Thieves Guild. Okay, sorry. I thought it was... Oh, yeah, you said Thieves Guild, and then you went to the Assassins Guild.
Yes.
Right.
Yes, and while he was doing that, that wonderful act, Charitas act, somebody was a menace. Was a what do they always call them in Scooby-Doo? Let's just say somebody was being a pesky kid and noticed something that he shouldn't.
Yep, the party did
Yeah.
get noticed by a arcane caster known as Marius Rush, a partially purple, now slowly turning blue, skinned tiefling with wings, who noticed the party, and there was a second one of him.
Yeah.
Uh,
When
and both of them...
Dan showed up and decided, oh, hi, time to stab a bitch, maybe.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Should I watch my language now?
No, it's okay. Cursing is fine.
Okay. Yeah, we now have a member of the audience that I am like, wait a second. Wave hello to, among others, the Tiny Menace.
Menace.
They can't hear you, hon. Rose. They can't hear you, Rose. She says hi.
Of course.
We do have the Tiny Menace witnessing the game, so there's that. Don't worry about language. You're fine.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I curse all the time anyway, so nothing new there. You are nothing is ruining that one. Let's see. I'm trying to find the right.
Yes.
Oh, that's character panels.
And yes, and there is also, while we're giving shout outs, a coworker to a certain Angeduan that I am jealous because apparently they like the shenanigans that Inquisition and Guy get up to.
Yep.
And I had to choose to be a serious character this time go round. Grr.
You know, I think it's genuinely funny. The one time I choose not to play a human, and I again go for a creature with fur, which I think Ken is rather relieved that I haven't been playing anything like Farage.
Uh-huh.
Yep. Okay, I'm trying to fix something real quick while you guys are talking. But so
All right.
that was going on, and you guys come to realize that while you're talking with him, Kedon comes back. All right.
Turns the
And
corner and sees somebody that shouldn't be doing what they're doing, and immediately goes into, as Faye says, stab a bitch mode.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I believe the representative that he was expecting has just arrived in the midst of our tense negotiations.
Oh, yes. There we go. I fixed your picture, Melody.
Thank you.
She got a new picture and she asked me to change it real quick, and I was like, yeah, I can do that while we're talking.
Cool.
All right. And as Marius and his clone, or twin, it looked like, was talking to you guys, a woman started approaching. It is not a Karen, child.
I do have, for the flavor of the scene, Marius was seeing invisibility, or somehow. I was curious about whether or not whatever he was using also sees into the ethereal plane, because according to some rules, see invisibility does reveal that with, say, ghosts and whatnot.
With the object that he's wearing, which is being hidden through a glamour, it gives him true sight, and I don't think true sight gives you ethereal vision. It just lets you see everything as they are.
Okay. So, for narrative's sake, I would like to say that he also sees Miss Daae, because she's technically hanging out partially in the ethereal plane whenever she's not manifested.
Fair enough.
And the funny thing is, the way he sees Miss Daae will be different from what everybody sees when she manifests. So, if that becomes a thing, we'll get to that soon enough.
You just reminded me of a scene from The Incredibles. We get there when we get there.
Right. And I am going to shut up and let other people play now.
All right, so I shared a picture in the Discord. I'm going to describe this character so that people who are viewing will understand what's going on. So there is a woman. She stands a little bit over 5.5 feet tall, blonde hair to about a little past her shoulders. They are in kind of like sort of loose braids going back on her head, and it's like two loose braids going from her forehead kind of down her back. Her lips are kind of like a dark, like a reddish tan color, hazel eyes, like pretty much almost gothically thick eyeshadow around it. And she has like an angular nose, a very angular face. So she's that, and she is wearing a red and black leather almost bodysuit in a way, with like studded leather boots, and you count at least what you can see out in the open, 5 daggers between belts attached to her side and like in various locations that without a perception check you could probably count on her.
Which would normally be a not a regular sight, but we are in Firewing Outpost, home
Firewing.
of the Firewing. Why do I always get that mixed up? The home of the Scaleguard Academy School for Adventurers. So stuff like this is probably a regular sight.
Yeah. Yeah, in fact, the Scaleguard, which is the city watch, they're paying almost no mind to her.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, it's someone who's heavily armed, and we'll keep an eye on that, but it's not unusual. And she will walk straight up to Hedon, but she is keeping an eye on Marius.
Mm-hmm.
And she will just look at Hedon and go, I am here to help bring in the package you have requested to have entered into town.
All right. I'm gonna ask her why she keeps looking at this other dude so intently.
You'll notice that Marius actually kind of has one of his hands up, and you can see arcane energy just formed in his hand, pointing right at her. And she just kind of looks at him. She looks back at him and just goes, and just frowns and goes, "Don't make me kill another copy."
Okay.
Another copy, you say?
Marius
Who is this
goes,
man?
"Go ahead."
I ask her, who is this man to you?
She goes, "Someone that I have been required to target on occasion."
And you just made the comment of killing a copy again.
Yes, he has a tendency to make copies of himself, if you hadn't noticed. There's 2 of him here.
Alright, so now I'm confused as to why this gentleman is even talking to us.
He looks at you and goes, "I was trying to understand why there was a group of people here hanging out in a bubble of invisibility. I have had my curiosity sated. I am going to go into town. Just, if you need to speak to me later, go to the front desk of Scale Strike Academy and tell them that you're here to talk about salt glass repairs. If I'm in town, I'll know about it."
Question.
Repairs.
I see. And Belle nods.
Go ahead.
Though Belle nods, though Miss Dye is just staring at him.
I am going to walk right over to this lovely gentleman and remark, "My dear sir, tell me, have you ever heard of Amnuketna?"
Please, it's like I whacked this Joker on the back of the head is like, you, not now, no.
Yeah,
What do you
Marius
mean,
said,
not now.
Marius will at this point just kind of like, you'll see him close his eyes slowly, sigh, like he's annoyed, and goes, "New Ketna is like any other religion. I frankly don't care at this point. I will, if I ever have to talk to her, sure, I'll have an engaging conversation with the deity of knowledge. She's at least not as bad as the others. Now, if you'll excuse me, I do have work to do, and I will, if you want to speak to me later, fine."
Salt glass repair.
I'm simply going to remark, well, I heard the atheists were pissy, but I had no idea just how pissy. Excuse me.
Things that you would have been trained to deal with if you came through a more organized way of entering Amuketna's service.
Just a moment. Are you saying
All
the
right.
Inquisition is not organized?
As you guys
You
are talking,
said that anyone could. Yes.
as you guys are talking, he's just gonna leave.
Right. Oh yeah. It's like she is getting. She has promptly been she has been promptly distracted, but is like, oh yeah, we're supposed to be hiding. And
At which point the blonde woman, will look at you and go, "I have several rules. You will all follow them. If you don't, I will stab you myself."
I shut up and nod.
Rules are necessary, but do not threaten us again.
She goes, you understand that if they put us at risk, their lives are forfeit. That is the rule of the guild. We are more important than they are.
And again, rules
Right.
are important and necessary. I understand. I know the code and conduct. Do not threaten my friends again. They will follow your rules.
She's just going to ignore you at that point and just go, rule number 1, no names in public. I don't know your name. You don't know my name. I don't care. 2, you follow my hand signals. Wherever I tell you to go, you go when I tell you to go there. All right?
I promptly activate comprehend languages.
Oh no, she'll just make hand motions. It'll be simple enough that you don't need that spell.
Okay.
It's not gonna be like Drow sign language. It's more of like point at you, point at a location, and that's kind of where it's going.
Okay. I did not want. Okay, I'm shutting up now.
She goes, if the Scaleguard asks any questions, she goes, whoever is good at talking, you speak. All right? The rest of you, don't bother try to interrupt them. All right? Our goal is to not get noticed. Now,
I'm going to grin.
who is the...
And
She looks at Hedon and goes, which one of these women are the package? Because it was mentioned it was a woman was the package. Just point at them. I don't need their name.
A point.
And I once again tug at Sylvana's hood and poor Sylvana is like, I may or may not be able to breathe at this point.
Yeah, Sylvana kind of like lifts herself up. You could tell that she's putting on the air of almost nobility again, like wearing old leather.
Uh-huh.
But you can tell, like, since you've known her for so long, she's nervous as hell.
Mm-hmm.
She's just hiding it really well. The woman goes, all right, excellent. She goes, all right, we have 2 options, and here are your options, all right? I am going to put her into a crate on a wagon, and you guys control the wagon, and you're here to deliver a shipment.
Okay.
This will require you to lie about losing your proper papers and promise to get them later.
Okay.
The second option is you are all religious converts of a particular religion in the area. I do not care which one you pick, but pick a local one. Amnu Ketna is not going to fly.
What do you
you
suggest?
may want someone else to state that. I will not deny my faith.
He thinks for a moment, goes, your best bets are probably Vivia, Gwendolyn, Ku, or Halona. Or Hanua.
Who is my deity?
Do you worship the god of nature?
Yes.
That's Gwendolyn.
No. Who's the
Yeah. Oh, you worship the god of lycanthropes. That's Ku.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's Ku. She goes, you pretend that you're here on a pilgrimage, and you're going to a shrine that is in the city.
All right, one moment. I turn around, take a couple of steps to Jose. My friend, this is probably the only time I will ever ask you to utterly trust me with her life and your silence. Can you do that?
I tell you what. I will give you my silence, but in exchange, I want a favor. that I will request of you as soon as I think of it.
Agreed.
I'm going to go over to Jose. I'm going to stand beside him and I'm going to kick him hard in the shin.
By the way, V and Hedon, can you give me a knowledge local check? Even if you don't have ranks in knowledge local, I will let you roll it. V, if you don't have knowledge local, you could just do a d20 plus whatever half your bard level.
Bard.
Yep.
Yeah, I did have ranks and I rolled it.
Okay. So, V, you don't recognize her. Hedon, I know you stood up to her because you wanted to basically protect her party, but you now realize that if she wanted you dead, you wouldn't survive.
Doesn't change anything.
She is quite the master assassin.
Oh, high-ranking member. Ooh.
Well, no, I wouldn't say high-ranking member. I would say moderate-ranking member. She's just really good at what she does.
It doesn't change anything.
Yeah.
Right.
Uh-oh.
But that just means I can trust her skill set.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so she goes, which option do you pick? Pretend to be religious, or I shove your friend into a crate?
We're going to go with religious.
Okay. She will dig into a bag on her belt and like pull out multiple outfits, and they are all kind of like what you would expect low-ranking members of the religion of Ku to wear.
Okay.
She goes, I would suggest you all change into these. If you have any, what's the word I'm looking for? Ruby, the DM, is blanking on a word. Modesty. If you have any modesty issues, silence them immediately. Change here in your invisibility bubble and call it a day.
Okay. For once, is like people will be hearing, oh, Edna, forgive me, but it's like, Papa, forgive me, Mama, forgive me, I'm going to.
Well,
this
I would
is
imagine because of the clothes that I wear, I would assume that I would have the biggest cloaky type clothes.
Oh no, Hedon, all you gotta do is put on the damn cloak. You're good.
Well, I'm saying like to help cover the women,
Oh, okay.
so that they feel better
Fair
about
enough.
changing.
No. Yeah,
That is
but
the
it's
right
like-
job.
Belle is very like when it comes to like actually picking up, like if there's actually an icon or anything, is like that's where she's going to be like doing her thing the hardest.
For the most part, the iconography for Ku is mostly in the clothing, and it's like a small little wooden holy symbol that's like very cheaply made. It's designed to like basically poor peasants who are, you know, going on pilgrimage.
Aspirants.
Yes.
The new ones.
Yep. All right. So at this point, Hedon, do you have a disguise check?
It's pretty shitty.
It's pretty shitty. Okay. You roll yours. I'll roll the woman's. Okay. Well, at least you gave her a +2. All right. So she will do several things in order to get you guys properly disguised. So at this point, when she mentioned modesty, she was talking about her helping you change.
Mm-hmm.
So, and she doesn't strip you down completely. She just strips you down to your undergarments.
Yeah.
Because honestly,
like-
that's all she needs.
Yeah. And once again, I'll point out, Belle's doesn't have a backpack per se, but this is one of those times where it's revealed that the magical pocket that she's been reaching into is a sort of side bag that she's normally wearing underneath her robes.
Yep.
So, So all of her stuff is going in there.
All right, excellent. So, she will also make modifications to your hair to make you seem like you're more likely to be the aspirants. You know, she'll make your hair not look as nice. She'll make sure that it's, you know, properly care. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's huge. I didn't mean to make it that big. There you go. I'm putting Sylvana at top center so that way people can see her picture. Anyway, so she'll like undo your guys' hair, rough it up some, things of that nature. Like I said, she doesn't need to do bub kiss for you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you are not exactly known for being, you know, well kept.
Not at all.
The person she's messed with the hair the most will be probably Sylvana, Belle, and Rye. Because out of the party, they are probably the most well kept. Like, for stylizing their look.
Right.
Probably need to hide the ears too.
Oh no, the ears are fine.
No. The wraith is not the problem here.
It's
Okay.
how
It is
nice
like-
you look.
Ooh, okay.
Yep.
Yeah, because Ku is a deity of the wild. Not necessarily the deity of nature, but wild is for sure.
Yeah. All right. So she will get you all ready, and you'll see her kind of like tap something on her head, and all of her clothing will change to make herself look like a cleric of Ku. In which case, then she will start leading you out of the invisibility bubble and towards the town. As you approach, go ahead.
As I have given my silence, I will put the cloak around myself, but I've got one of those looks of, oh, this is so, it's like I'm walking through a sewer kind of look on my face. Just utter, don't like it, don't like it, don't like it.
And it's one of the few moments that he and Belle are in tandem.
Yep. Guy, you're loving this because you're watching your companions get uncomfortable.
Look, I really am. Like,
Ryan doesn't really care.
and I'm loving it so much that I'm just going kind of give like a knowing smirk, you know, to my good buddy Jose. I can't really see my face because of the mask, but you know, you can see my eyes, and you're doing a great job, buddy.
At this point, the blonde woman would go, "Oh yes, Ku would be so proud of you."
I will shoot daggers with my eyes at her.
All right, so you approach the primary archway from the docks into the area, and the scale, sorry, the Scaleguard will kind of like, they're stopping people, they're talking to people, but they're not stopping everybody. But you guys are a large enough group that they'll kind of look at you, and they'll be like, one of the guards will kind of come over and go, sorry for the interruption. What brings your... He stopped for a moment, like he's trying to think of the most politically correct thing he could say. Go, congregation to our city.
Tell him, you know, while we're here, that what was the word you used earlier?
Pilgrimage.
Pilgrimage. Damn, brain couldn't think of it. I have these new recruits to my God, and we're here on a pilgrimage to further enlighten them along the path.
He nods and goes, all right. Do you guys have your travel papers to enter the city?
Yes. I go to, like, reach into my pocket where, it should be, and like, oh, hold on. Like, reach into a couple of, other little obvious pockets. Did I get my paperwork in? Oh, good Lord. I hope it didn't fly off on the ship. That we come through a pretty nasty storm.
He goes,
I do apologize, sir, but I think I've lost my paperwork.
all right, give me a bluff check.
I rolled a freaking 4.
4, Jesus Christ.
Oh my God, I've got a decent bluff. Just rolled shitty.
He just goes, oh, that is unfortunate. These things do happen. He seems to think for a moment. He's looking around like he's kind of like unsure what to do for a minute, and then goes, all right, how about this? Go to the local magistrate, get a new version of the papers. Yeah, you'll have to possibly pay some money to get it taken care of, but that should be just fine. I mean, you look all like you're upstanding citizens. You look, well, I wouldn't say citizens. You look like your congregation is relatively harmless. I'm not going to worry about it too much. Just go get the paperwork taken care of. You have a whatever blessing you prefer day.
May Ku watch over all your adventures, sir.
He goes, thanks, and he just goes back to like stopping other people who look more suspicious. All right. So, you get into town. Like, you guys succeed in getting into town. By the way, you rolled a 4, he rolled a 2.
Nice.
I was like, oh my God, because he was like, he rolled a total of 16. It's like, he has a chance of succeeding.
Poor.
Look, I
Jose.
can really imagine Jose looking exactly like that.
Yep, I agree. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's like, and it's as we get past, it's like, no. I'm just like audibly muttering to myself somewhere behind everybody.
As you get a distance away, and the blonde woman kind of like ushers you into an alley. She will gather back her she will put up some cloaks so that the women can change back, and she will gather back her disguises, putting them into the bag, and letting you get dressed back to the way you normally are, though your hair and makeup and stuff are just completely fucked.
Yeah, it's like Belle is like, when she hands everything back, it's like she's only just now remembered to start breathing again.
I will help my buddy Jose remove the clothing. Telling him,
I am.
So proud of you, buddy.
I just start ripping it off because.
And
Okay.
I once again Velcroed till Sylvana.
Oh yeah. Sylvana will definitely be like, don't like this, but I will be fine.
All she has to do is be quiet.
Yeah, that's true.
And out of everybody, I'm the one that hates gods the most.
That's true.
And I'm the one that's just nonchalant about it.
You're not somebody who's been vocally devoted to somebody either, and it's like, ew, I just, it's like I just kissed somebody who wasn't my wife because I had to. It's like, please, honey, forgive me so much.
Ruby, Is there like a wash house or something nearby?
It's like if you start looking around and it's whatnot, I pinch you and go, "We're not out of the woods yet. What's next?" I ask
We
our
have this-
escort.
She goes.
I'm just going to remark. Sorry, go ahead.
When you ask her what's next, she'll look at you all and just go, at this point, my job with you all is done. She goes, it is up to you all to figure out what you're doing from here. But she goes, other than that, you're welcome to, do whatever you do that makes you happy. I no longer care. She'll turn to Hedon and go, your ability to lie to him could use some improvement, but you are still moderately competent at your job. So, congratulations. You have at least gotten a positive mark of approval.
Thank you.
10
So-
points for sheer dumb luck.
Yep. Yep.
I am going to go back to looking for any kind of wash house or anything. As I remarked to my fellow believer, we have the stain of another god on us. It's going to take time to wash off.
It's like I just it's
Yeah.
it's like I'm just like
I'm
kind of agreeing, but at the same time it's like she's not letting go of Sylvana anytime soon.
Do I see any wash houses with a 24 perception?
As you're looking around with a 24 perception, as you were changing, and after the blonde woman didn't look around either for this, you do notice that someone has kind of noticed you guys are there.
Mm-hmm.
It is a give me a second. It is a very petite woman who is 5'3", kind of light on the weight. She has like almost like a flaming orange hair with gold eyes, and you can tell that she has some ifrit to her. And she kind of just looks at you all and just kind of smiles for a minute and just goes, I picked one interesting time to come down an alleyway. As you guys notice her, and she goes, and she'll look at like Belle and Sylvana and probably V, like the women in the party, and she goes, well, if you ever need work, may I suggest finding Julie's green stack bar? I'm sure we could find a good income for all of you. You all have a pleasant day. Please don't kill me while I leave.
Right.
V's not going to say anything because she doesn't want to let on, but she's going to just smile and nod and wonder if this is a bad person that she's going to need to punish eventually.
And I
Um,
will realize I don't have my character sheet open. Oops.
Why did you get that open? I will turn and go to you. No, I'll turn to V and go, V, I'm going to be in the wash house for at least a half hour. And I'm going to slowly look at the other faithful member of the party and remark, I assume you're going to get the stench of this other god off you as well.
I look genuinely torn.
So Sylvana will speak up and go, maybe we should find lodging first, and then we can seek bathing.
I thought part
I
of the
agree.
deal was getting her in and us to a safe spot. I'm pretty sure I remember doubling the fee so that we get to basically a safe house.
Yeah. She has deposited you outside of a safe house.
Okay.
Yeah. It wasn't that like she just abandoned you. No, she led you to the entrance of a safe house, but she is not going inside it.
Yeah, no, that's good. I will motion for everybody to come inside.
All right.
Before everybody starts departing. And I got a 29 on a lot knowledge local, since I'm from the same continent but north of the continent. Maybe I would know what that particular place of employment was.
It's a brothel.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Wright's not gonna let them go there. He's gonna be.
She was essentially saying the women in the party were pretty. They could make a living doing what I do. I'm going elsewhere now so I don't get stabbed.
Yeah, that's kind of what I got. I just wanted to make sure I was correct.
Yeah. So you go into the safe house. The safe house doesn't have any bathing itself, but it is primarily like a barracks-like room where it has multiple simple beds, a few wardrobes, and it does have a room that has a chamber pot in it.
Okay.
Like, it's not a nice place, let's just say that, but it is a safe place.
Well, at this point in time, I would like to ask Belle why it is that there is a wanted poster of her.
Not Belle.
Not Belle. Shit, my brain is not working.
Yeah, Sylvana.
Yes, her.
Sylvana will kind of look at you and just go, the name on that wanted poster was my father's.
Okay.
He likely wants me to come back.
Back to what?
Back to Itagaya. Not Itagaya, sorry. Back to Iritera. Sorry, I was reading Itagaya, and I said what I was.
Oh,
Is there a particular reason why he would want you back? That he would put wanted posters?
Likely,
Politics.
yes, politics in this case. He wants to marry me to another family.
Ah. Okay. Well, at this point in time, Sylvana would ask that you stay in the house, and I'm going to go do a little, and I kind of like flutter my fingers, like sightseeing.
As you
You're gonna
wish.
do a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight.
Exactly.
Ooh.
So
I'm going to turn to my dear beloved wife and remark, my dear, I think our dear friend has been a little down in the dumps lately. Asking me to be silent was slightly out of character for him, but I've got an idea. What do you say we go give him a helping hand, getting down and out and about?
That might not be a bad idea. Do you think he'd like to go out with us?
Of course, he's our friend, isn't he? At which point, I will sort of like lock my arm around V's and just sort of go marching over. And I'll say, V, you take the left, I'll take the right. As I move over to a certain someone's right arm and I like lock my arm around his. And I say, my dear friend, we're taking you out for a night on the town.
As they go, I say, he changes tune so quickly. And then I ask whoever's in charge of this safe house about what the bathing options are.
there is actually nobody in this safe house.
Do I find a tub?
Not in this place.
Yeah. He talks about washing off, and then it gets me feeling completely guilty about it and all this. And then he just. And then I go, after I have that little cursory looking around and whatnot, I just go back to being Velcroed to Sylvana.
Yeah.
Which I will point out, Jose is planning to get washed. He just plans to get his friend so sozzingly drunk as revenge that he's going to keep the stench on himself for a while longer, just to help reinforce the point. Speaking of which, Mr. TM.
Yes.
Should I give another perception for the local bars, or would a knowledge local be more equivocant, suitable?
I was
Better.
waiting for how long he was going to keep stumbling over his words. Knowledge local.
I don't have that one.
Then
I got
diplomacy.
Uh,
Diplomacy's fine if you're willing to ask around.
Actually, you know what? It is, and just to be sure of it. And where is honeyed words? Where are you? Because that lets me roll twice.
You don't have to click honey words. You can just say you use it.
Okay, then.
All right. Yeah, you, Hedon, and V just get sloshed out of your fucking minds.
God.
You have zero difficulty
Okay, before
finding. You guys
before
have
that
zero
happens-
difficulty.
Before that happens, as we're getting like halfway drunk, Hidan, remind me, are you human?
No, Mel.
Are there any elf-like creatures nearby?
Yeah, this is a pretty mixed racial zone.
I will go to the nearest female one, trusting that my lovely wife can keep an eye on Hidan for the moment, and I will remark, "Hey, lady, listen. See that guy over there? He's actually heir to quite the humongous fortune." And I want my dear V to keep him busy.
She will just shake her head and just walk away from you.
Then I'll go. Hang on, wait a minute. I will go to the next one. No, wait a minute. I have a better idea. I will go up to the nearby. Is there a stage nearby?
Oh no.
What?
Yes. Yeah, there is something that you could use as a stage.
I will go to that. I will stand up on top of it, and I will loudly declare, with a 27 bluff, ladies and gentlemen, I give you the great Eden, destroyer of many. Oh, damn it! My dear V, help!
Oh my god.
I'm gonna continue on. The great Hedan, destroyer of many villains and savior of several villages, cities, and more. But, my dear ladies, and those of other persuasions, I'm not judging Hedan if that's the way you swing. He has been known to break many a heart, for his own is aching for a true quaking. I give you, ladies and gentlemen, Hedan!
As you
He
pull,
points over there where I'm supposed to be, and
it's
nobody's
gone.
there.
It's like ninja vanish.
I'm having flashbacks to Abydos here.
Yeah. At this point, the Scaleguard are gonna come walking over, wondering what the fuck is happening. And Jose, you've realized that you don't want the attention of the guards at this time.
I will just get down off the little stage thing and like walk out. At this, as Dan has successfully managed to vanish, I'm going to just go get washed like I should have done a while ago, and I will inform my dear V, half drunk and all as we all are, I'm heading to the nearest wash house because I can still smell that false deity on myself.
All right, back at the safe house. Sylvana is like, with Belle clinging to Sylvana's and Rye at this point, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So Sylvana will like lightly push both Belle and Rye away and just go, they're not looking for you two, they're just looking for me. I will stay here. You said you wanted to go wash, Belle. Just go. I'll be fine.
And at that, I'm just like, I'm taking her hands and it's like, I've already failed you once. And it's like, she is looking right in her eyes, being earnest as hell. I am not doing that again.
Yes. All right. Then we can all go together. I remember that Marius gentleman said that when we go to see him, he could remove that bounty from this whole town. Maybe if we go and see him, he can expedite that and I won't have to keep hiding.
And I promptly do the whole cape, making sure her cape's on her and the hood is really low. It's like, Belle, I can't see. I don't care. We're right beside you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sylvana is keeping like an even keel in her voice, but like both you and Rye, like Belle, Rye, and Sylvana have been together now for almost 3 months straight.
Yes.
That's true, yeah.
So you guys have come to at least understand some of the micro expressions that each other have that, you know, would be difficult for others to pick up on. Which, by the way, I'm going to state this now. You guys have a +5 to your sense motive with each other.
Right.
Ooh,
and I already have a ridiculous sense motive.
So yeah, you're reading her like a fucking book.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I have a high sense motive, sucky bluff.
Yeah.
So I can be read like a book in the opposite direction.
Yeah. Sylvana has a -1 on bluff, and her sense of motive is a 1. She is not the social. So with that, she will pull out a chemical real quick, mix up a few chemicals, cork it. It does not smell good. But she will pour it into her hair and pull out a brush and a comb and like put it through it. And you will see the gorgeous, you know, silver hair that she like silvery blonde hair that she normally has, and it'll become like a brunette color.
All right.
And
Nod.
She'll go, this is just temporary. We can rinse it out. It will just take a lot of washing, which I'm probably going to need help with later.
And it's like, I nod a lot.
Sure.
And there's a moment of, I think you look pretty much gorgeous either way.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I agree.
All right. Jose, by the way, while you're bathing, a red ball will be thrown at you. From the shadows, and you don't know where it came from.
Okay, so when you say thrown at me, does it actually hit me, or like, does it just go past me?
The person who's throwing the ball, can you do me a favor and roll your ranged attack roll? Yeah, it hits you. Doesn't do any damage, but it hits you.
I picture it doing a little squeaky as it does.
Like a little wing. Was it just
Hits the head like what?
what?
Or else it's a ball that's got a bell inside the tingle-ingle-ingle.
Yeah, it's the one with the bell. It's like ding, 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 and it hits the water and it like kind of floats on the water. All right. So Vonda's...
I am going to pick up the ball and just sort of like throw it up in the air a few times and catch it, and
It jingles.
then I'll just start playing with it in the water. Just
Okay.
because.
So Sylvana is going to turn towards Rye and Belle and just go, we've been getting together for a while. I'm going to say this now. I am... Excuse me. I'm sitting here choking on my freaking lungs here. I am no longer uncomfortable being undressed around either of you.
Well, that's lovely to hear.
Yes.
Rye's like, hell
Did they do that here?
What was that?
I said, Rye's like, hell yeah, naked.
Oh no. She will turn to Rye and go, I still do not find you physically appealing. But
But it's fine.
that is not... We are both finding Belle physically appealing, and I think that's the important thing. Is, but we still respect each other.
Yes.
Okay.
And as they have that very serious moment, I'm like, am I going to be a seesaw?
Yes.
No. No.
Go with it, Rye. Go with it, Rye.
Ooh, I don't know if I should do this now. Oh, should I do? I'm gonna have to do this now.
Oh, jeez.
Okay. I don't know how to do this. Hold on, I'm trying to think.
So Rye's like sitting there going,
All of a sudden he's acting funny and is like,
Yeah, no.
ooh, 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 ooh.
Sylvana doesn't notice this, like, behavior change, because once again, she is fucking got no sense motive. She's got a +6 total with Rye, and that's it. But Belle is like, yoink! I noticed.
Ryan's like nervous. He's like, okay. He goes on down one knee and he's like, takes out the rings and be like, will you marry me?
To both of them?
Yeah, both of them.
At that, Belle is like, Belle promptly turns stoplight red.
She, like, Sylvana is gonna stumble over her words for a moment and just go like, are you suggesting the three of us marry each other, or both of us marry you?
Yes.
Oh, each other.
Each other.
Sylvana's gonna think for a moment and go, that would help with one particular problem, but I don't know how that's gonna end.
Yeah, and Belle, on the other hand, like, she looks like a teapot about to explode. She goes over to Rye, is like still looking like this, puts her hands on his shoulders, then promptly grabs his shirt and starts trying to shake him. Remember the fact that she had her dump stat is strength, and she's like, "You impossible idiot! This is all backwards, you." And then she proceeds to just drop and like just thuds her head on his chest. You
Right,
are
well, like,
absolutely stupid and incorrigible, and then she just starts saying yes repeatedly.
All right. If Belle says yes, then Sylvana just looks at like Belle and like puts her hand on her shoulders and just goes, "Are you okay with me marrying the both of you as well?"
And she looks up, is like, she is crying, and she's at this point, she's just nodding and stuff, and grabs a hold of her and tugs her down with her group hug and all that.
All right, give me a second. All right, Sylvana's bawling her eyes out.
We're all crying.
Well,
I just hugs them both happily.
Well, Draha and Cedric are like sitting in the back, like their hands up to their mouths, like the whole view, like this is so beautiful. Yeah. Sylvana goes, okay, let's go take care of this issue with Marius before we finish discussing this and figure out how we're going to go about doing this. And then once we figure that out, celebration time?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys leave and go to try to find Marius. Now, you go to the Scale Strike Academy, because that's where he told you to go. And there is a dwarven woman at the desk. She is like magically stamping things like papers and moving them and answering anybody who comes to the desk and so on and so forth. And she seems pleasant, but she also has a nearby club in case anybody gets out of line.
Oh, yay. And this is awesome because Belle is not fully recovered from all this yet.
Oh no, neither is Sylvana.
Uh-huh. And I don't know what's going on with Rye. But I believe if of the three of us, I'm usually the one that does the talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And just really quickly, it's like, you said salt glass repair, right?
Yes, he
Salt
did.
glass, yeah.
Yeah.
Good. And she walks up to the desk and is like, I'm here looking for Mr. Marius. What was it? What was the full name?
Like Sylvana leans over. Rush.
Oui, Monsieur Marius Rush. He said that he could help us with repairing salt glass.
And the woman looks up, kind of nods, and then you see her kind of like mess with something on the desk for a moment, and you hear the scribbling of writing, and then suddenly the pen starts writing on its own, and then she goes, okay. She goes, third floor, take the stairwell over there if you're capable of using stairs. If not, there is a magical lift over there on the left side. Third floor, you're looking for room 209.
Mercy. And it's like follows the instructions.
Yep. At this point, Sylvana is going to just start talking in Opian to Belle.
Mm-hmm.
Rye, do you speak Opian?
I don't.
You don't speak
so.
Opus? So you're hearing French, and you have no clue what the fuck is being said.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And at this point, Sylvana's just like quietly being excited. Like you could tell from her tone of voice she's excited, Rye, but you don't know about what. And she's like, I've never been involved in a wedding like this. I've never been without. I always dreaded these kind of things.
Rye hasn't either, so that is new to him too.
Yeah, but you don't understand what she's saying. She's speaking French in front of you.
I don't understand.
It's like Belle will be like, "Oh, this is so completely all out of order. Is like completely backwards. Oh, what am I gonna do? How am I going to explain this to Papa?" It's like Jean-Luc said that he was going to be the one who would perform the ceremony, but he's been gone.
Yeah, it's just like
Papa don't preach.
So you guys make it to hit that room. It is a plain wooden door. You could see arcane glyphs kind of written into it. There is a gargoyle-ish knocker on the front of it that looks kind of like a big tiger head.
Wow, he's gone extra.
So what do you guys do at this door?
Probably knock.
All right.
Of course.
So you're gonna knock with your hand, or are you gonna use the knocker?
I mean, the knocker.
All right. So you reach up, you knock it like once or twice, and then suddenly the head just comes alive. Like the tigerish head just comes alive and just kind of like accidentally spits out the knocker and just goes, "Hi, who are you? What do you want?"
Ryan would just freak out and go behind behind Belle and be like, "What the hell's going on?"
Where here is like she'll pick up the knocker ring and say, "We're here about salt glass repair. Is your master?"
So you're here to see the keeper of the room. I see. Glorious is he, for he has done so much, and so on and so forth. And like you can kind of tell this thing's got a personality. He goes, and then,
like,
and then you hear like a male voice from inside and goes. It's like, Liam, can you please stop being so extra? I know you were designed and built by Belle, but you do not need to be this extra. Please just let them in. He just goes, of course. Young sir back there, could you be so kind as to put the knocker back in my mouth?
Sure.
And then I'm just I had picked up the ring and go, "Did he just say that I designed this thing?" And shove it into the...
And like you see it go back to sleep and the door open. I know Melody, by the way, is chuckling right now because she knows where I got that from.
I do, yes.
I know it's referencing a movie, but I can't remember what it with the one specifically.
Melody, send her a private message to let her know.
I will.
Thank you. By the way, I will make a little fun contest here. Whoever guesses the in the comment section on the YouTube video, whoever guesses where that reference is from, I will let you name an NPC.
Ooh. Oh.
So, good luck. No one say anything in the video.
Okay.
All right. All right, so you enter this, it looks like an office. There are, the walls have a couple of bookshelves here and there. There are several, almost it looks like cases with demonic parts in them that are being held in stasis. One of them being what looks to be part of like an imp's head, and like the eyeball still moving around and like looking at you.
Damn. Only a 4 on that roll.
Well, you understand, like, this is, like, the stasis is mostly, like, planar locks and, gentle repose and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So forth. Marius is sitting at a desk. His copy is not here.
Uh-huh.
And...
There's only one of them.
Yeah, there's only one of him here. And he looks up at you and goes, "Oh, yes, please shut the door." And then the door shut, and he goes, "Never mind, it shuts itself." I keep forgetting that. He goes, I apologize for the door. Belle was very extra in her instructions to the people who made that knocker for me.
Pardon?
He kind of looks at you weird and goes, what do you mean, pardon?
I point at myself. I'm Belle.
You will see him kind of like raise
Small.
he raises his hand up to the bridge of his nose and starts rubbing and goes, great, now there's two of them.
The small world? Ha ha ha.
The person I'm referring to is my older sister. As he pauses for a moment and like just thinks about it for a minute and goes, older sister. She is a bard. She is very vivacious, very full of life, and likes to do pranks to mess with me.
AKA, we've landed in opposite lands. So help me. It's like me with a mustache. But I think you're talking about wasn't it Ellison?
Annabella Lee is her name.
Ken,
Or is that yours?
that's me.
Annabella Lee is yours. Hers was something else similar. Give me a second.
The bard was something like Melissa or something like that.
Give me a second.
Or me.
Academy game notes. I have the full name here. Oh,
We can
Alyssa
just call-
Melee, but she went by the name Belle.
Oh.
She used the nickname Belle.
Ah.
Her name is Alyssa Melee, but she uses the nickname Belle. I apologize. I will just call her Alyssa from now on.
Mercy.
Either way, that's neither important. Either way, you are here to get that bounty removed.
Mm-hmm.
In return, I would like something in return. I don't care. Make an offer of what I can do, or what you could offer me that could possibly be useful for me to make this worthwhile for the headache I'm dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
Do you perhaps have something arcane in nature that I could just research real quick? Because honestly, I don't need to have it. I just need to be able to research it. So that way, this would be worth it. Because it's only getting rid of a 50 crown bounty.
You want something to research?
Yes.
It's like by this time I'm like, ooh, now we're getting somewhere. And if there is a extra chair, she will promptly sit down beside him and go, I am actually researching something specifically myself and would deeply appreciate someone to collaborate with.
All right. What are you researching?
Okay, how do I describe this? I seem to have struck upon a way to approach magic that is not arcane or divine in nature. It seems to be more physically innate.
Interesting.
The object that I have, and I wince at that as I say it, is that I am currently accompanied and tied to a being that she is so much like a ghost that it's almost easier to describe her that way. But she is not undead.
Interesting. Is she in the room with us currently?
Yes.
Excellent. One moment, please. And you'll see him reach over to his desk and like put his hand on like a weird dial, and you'll see him slowly turn it, and you see the lights in the room kind of slightly change color for a second, and then eventually you will see Miss Dai actually like fully appear.
Okay.
And he'll just look at the dial and go, ethereal plane. That would explain why you think it's a ghost. Interesting.
Yes, many of her behaviors are very similar. And if you're showing a being on the ethereal plane, for the most part, her appearance is more or less as I've been describing her. But since we're seeing her not being manifested by Belle's will to bring her from the ethereal plane, she is still has that stark white and shadow to her. And she even has the dark miasma for being partially connected to the negative realm. But where it's different, it's like it's not like she's blurred or anything, but it's almost like seeing multiple pictures of a person stacked on top of each other. So it's just kind of hard to really get in focus on looking at her.
Marius
and Belle is like actually sitting back and is like, that's not how she is when I bring her into the physical realm. I have never seen her like that before.
Interesting. Marius will kind of nod, make some notes. He goes, I know someone who's more of an expert in these fields. I'll question them about this the next time I see them. It's definitely different. He will kind of look around, and then I know Draha was supposed to be bringing this to them. So in this case, Draha's item is going to be borrowed by Sylvana to get this identified.
Mm-hmm.
Sylvana will pull out the magical core from the beastie from before.
Voila! Perfect.
And Sylvana go, will this do? And Marius will take it. You'll see him cast a few spells over it and go, interesting. Yes. And he'll turn to Belle and goes, what you have is definitely interesting and worth further research, as is this. Between the two of these, this will be payment enough. He goes, where did you get this?
A place called the Graveyard? Somewhere between Sahir and Corinthia's southern coast.
So you found it on the bottom of the ocean?
We were passing through the area and were attacked.
By what?
Well, I self-identified as serving the Taurine.
You'll see him, like, he was moving around and, like, making notes and stuff. Everything he's doing comes to a dead stop. Like a complete dead stop. And then you'll see him instantly pick up another piece of parchment, and he will start scribbling fervently. In this case, can Belle read Infernal?
Not. Oh, I should double check. I don't think so. No.
All right. He is writing an Infernal in this case, and he's just scribbling like crazy. So Sylvana can't read Infernal.
I take this is a subject of personal interest.
It is a subject of important interest. You'll see him pick up the piece of parchment. He'll chant something real quick and draconic, and then suddenly the piece of parchment turns into a piece of like a small moth, and you'll see it flutter out the window at like Mach 1.
It's like, wee, breathe out the window.
Yeah. So after a few moments, he will just go, all right. So you ran into a taurine device that was moving and capable of combat.
Yes. Oh boy.
Was this a...
It looked a lot like some sort of cuttlefish. And it had this massive core. It was definitely bigger than the lifeboats.
Fair enough.
But not much bigger.
Have you informed anyone else of this?
No. We were specifically coming here because of the reputation that it has about this of taurine connections.
So, if you were already heading here when you ran into this thing, why were you coming here before? Did you have another taurine interaction?
Well, we're hoping to get connections so we can go to Gaia. But we were attacked along the way. And, well, You're
hoping to use this device as a bargaining chip in order to get yourself into Itagaya without being accosted at the border.
Not directly, but that does sound like a very good idea. I'm not entirely sure how we were planning to, I look at Rye. Aside from, well, my fiance being a native there.
Yeah.
Who needs to get home to his sister.
May I ask why?
He's been cursed and they're gonna try to help me figure out what's wrong with her.
Interesting. Well, I can at least open some doors for you. I am definitely interested in this device. And we will see how it can help you with the study here. He will kind of smile and go, alright, so you need to Gaia, things of that nature. Excellent. And you wish to study the taurine as well.
Well, That hasn't been a direct personal subject of the matter. I think we were, well, it was more that we were going to utilize the novel devices as bargaining chips, but it would be useful to research, yes. It is studying and learning from new and unknown is, well, part and partial to my way of life, at least.
And Sylvana will speak and go, and research is part, a bit and parcel to mine as well.
I have to admit, my specific field was more along the lines of the tombs.
Marius will raise an eyebrow and go, which tombs?
The ones of Nicholas. Who else?
And he will kind of lean forward and go, and you'll kind of see like his facial expression slightly change, and like there's almost like a different light to his eyes now. And he goes, and what about Nicholas's tombs are you attempting to decipher?
What he was trying to destroy when he changed the world so drastically.
Marius nods and goes, interesting. Well then, it seems some of the people I know would have much to discuss with you then.
Perhaps.
So, how about this? I will make arrangements for you to meet with the people who would be in the know about such topics, and they could share what knowledge they feel comfortable sharing with you. I'll make a formal request up the chain for Lord Kobo to see if he would be so kind as to make arrangements for you all to be able to get to Itagaya without being accosted.
That would be most kind.
So there is that. And other than that, those same people who'd probably know quite a bit about Nicholas might know someone or know themselves some insight on how to explain what is going on with your friend there.
I guess that's one way of putting it. As she's like once again looking up at, and is like, and as hard to focus on Miss Dai as it is, it's still pretty obvious that she's just perpetually annoyed at best.
Yeah. It doesn't take long for basically something to appear on Marius's desk, and he will just pick it up, unfold it, and read it quietly. And he'll nod and go, all right. It seems that you have sparked an interest. They usually do not reply this quickly, but it seems recent events has spurred them to react faster.
Interesting.
He will sigh and just go, all right. May I ask, what connections do you have with the world I'm referring to any guild affiliations, organizations you may be a part of. I need to know this for a background check for you all.
Ooh, let's see. Where did I leave off? Well,
Sylvana will mention she is part of the Mages Guild, but she's not a high-ranking member. She hasn't joined any of the sub-factions yet. She's just been a member of the guild. So there is that. She's from Iraterra, and that's it. She hasn't joined any other organizations.
Belle will say, I'm a middling citizen of Opus, a acolyte of the Temple Conclave, and I've recently achieved journeyman status at the Mages Guild.
What? He nods, and then he turns to Ryan and goes, your connections?
I'm from the Fire Guild.
Fire Guild. Alright. Do any of you belong to any of the subgroups of those guilds?
No.
I do.
So, like...
I was about to say, I am an aspirant of the Order of Mysteries and Creation with the title Grave Speaker.
He will look, and then you'll see him almost kind of like pseudo cast a spell, and then go, we're gonna need to figure something out quickly, then. And he will go, if you have any companions, may I suggest collecting them and meeting me here tomorrow?
Oui.
Right.
Sounds fair enough.
He looks at you and goes, you may go. I suggest leaving quickly.
All right. And promptly, quietly exit, unless, Rye, you wanted to do anything?
Not really. Oh, wait. To help Rye see if he to find a gift for his sister.
All
A
right.
book that you can recommend.
All right, we'll see
Yes.
about that on our way out.
Yep.
Yeah.
While you're in town, you need to find a bookstore, huh?
Yeah.
Alright. So, as you guys, peruse the town, give me either a diplomacy or knowledge local to see if you can locate a bookstore of, good stock.
Diplomacy. I do not know the place.
Nope.
It's like, I didn't know that you were interested in books. We are in a college campus. And proceeds to, I don't know, be looking in the wrong direction or something?
Yeah, essentially.
Yeah.
Either that or the question is so dumb and obvious that we get judgy looks.
Yeah, at this point, they're just like, nobody really wants to answer your question. And Sylvana just kind of goes, maybe we should get one of our friends who are better at speaking with people.
Oy. I'm just like, I will simply, looking around. to just, like, I don't know, read signs and see if any of them say bookstore.
Yeah.
I mean, they have job boards all over the place. Maybe they have a map somewhere. But we know how well Belle follows maps.
Oh yeah.
All right. So you do notice a bookstore designed for the campus itself. If you go in, it seems to collect a wider range of educational books here. Some of them focused, the majority of them focused on magic. But there are a few that are focused on, like, you know, proper exercise techniques, blacksmithing, you know, various crafting stuff.
Ooh. I'm going to be like, ooh. Is like promptly lose the thread and start perusing the arcane knowledge training section and see what would actually be, you know, informative for her, even though she's technically more advanced, or far more advanced by now, because she's already attended an equivalent of a postgraduate school.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, Rye, you are now in charge of keeping Belle to task.
Yep.
So, Rye, what are you going to do to keep Belle to task? So, let me put it this way. I'll put the shopping for a book on the back burner for a bit, because we have been ignoring the other half of the party. So,
Yes.
Guy, what are you just going out and getting just wasted tonight?
That wasn't the intent, but I did get pretty drunk.
All right.
I got the pose.
All right.
The intent of me going out before I got dragged into a bar was attempting to find more information out about this wanted poster and any and all details behind it. Why, you know, if I found out details confirming about the whole marriage thing, information on the other family groom and so forth, so on.
All right. Give me a diplomacy check as you are gathering information. All right. So the bounty is basically for bringing Sylvana back to Iraterra. In particular, bringing her back to Greenpoint. Which is where her family lives. The other family member in question for her possible fiance, you don't really get a lot of information on that front. You just know that it's a noble of some form in Iraterra.
Okay.
So there is that. The bounty is mostly just for information. They want to know where she is, and then based on that, they'll determine what response they're going to do. The bounty guy has two different things set up. One is convincing Sylvana to come back to Greenpoint willingly. If they do so, there is a 2,000 gold bounty for that. If they have to club her overhead and bring her back home, that is half as much. So 1,000 gold bounty. But that's only after the family's been given information about where she is, so they can decide which one of those two to activate.
Gotcha. All right. Well, after my drunkenness, escapades, vanishment, and information gathering, I will go back to the safe house. Hopefully with 2 catfolk in tow.
Yeah, you find them pretty easily, and after bathing, I think Jose will be happy to go back.
Well, in that regard, I made the character sheet disappear. In that regard, as soon as I am done washing, I'm going to stand up, take one look at the clothes,
All right.
as I would assume I'd have a spare set. I will take the clothes that I was wearing with the false deity's name on it, put them in a corner and get dressed in a different set of clothing, walk out, say to the owner, "Excuse me, do you have a furnace nearby? Because I'd like it if you could burn these."
Well, before you do that, remember, she took the clothing back.
Oh, that's right, yes. Apologies, I'd forgotten that. Then
Maybe
I
it's
simply
you've
walk out-
actually changed your undergarments.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
we'll go with that.
Yeah. So you go, "Can I burn these?" And they're like, "Sure. We'll find someone to burn that for you. You have a pleasant day, sir."
Thank you. And before I continue further, is this the only bathhouse, or what would it be called?
Yeah, it'd be a bathhouse.
Is this the only bathhouse in the city?
No.
Then my esteemed counterpart has likely gone to one of your rivals. My apologies, I was rather hoping we could both use the same place. But with that, if you'll excuse me, I have a worshipper to find, a wife to love, and a friend to hitch for life. Excuse me.
How does he? No, he does not. How does he know?
He knows.
How does he have these powers? He said he just decided to serve at Muketna. I spent years of dedicated.
I love how freaked out you're getting from this. I will first take a look for Hidan, and I will simply remark, "Sweet little Hidan, say come here."
Yes, friend.
Look who it is, the heartbreaker whose hearts quake for the divine maiden of pure virtue.
You know,
At this point
this is why we can't have nice
in my
things.
rather drunken state, I will remark, "Well, you see, I've got good news and better news. Good news is, I'm free of the taint of a false deity. Better news is, I'm rather sloshed. So I tell you what, here's 100 gold. I want you, my dear friend, to get yourself totally hammered. And no, drunk or not, this is not me asking for the return of a favor. I have not yet thought of what that will be, but don't you worry. When it comes to me, I'll demand it."
Sorry, buddy. I got you. Slide a hand to put the money back in his bag.
Ruby?
Yes.
He reverse pickpocketed him.
I know. So
Yeah.
he beat your perception.
Okay. All right, so I will go looking for my dear other half, and upon finding her, I will be calling out rather loudly, "V, oh, where are you? Have you taken to another one of your long walks again?"
All right, so we'll leave that. Go ahead.
I was going to say, yeah, I'm going to quickly hide the what I was looking at and try to act all nonchalant.
Ah, my dear V. I give her a gentle kiss on the cheek, a hug, and then I remark, I'm going to have another word with my sister in the faith. I don't like calling her that, but circumstances being what they are, I'm concerned. Could you do me a favor and help out?
All right.
Of course, sweetheart.
So you guys.
Marvelous. So, when we next meet up with our associates,
All right, so you guys head.
and we'll leave it at
Oh, unfortunately, you keep cutting out.
Oh no, he keeps talking, and I start to talk, and he talks, and I stop. So that's why.
carry on.
I get it. All right. So you guys head back to the safe house. At this point, B, Jose, and Hedon, you'll notice that Rai is happier than he normally is. And Sylvana and Belle are a mixture of excited and crying at the same time at random intervals.
Concern rising.
Yes, the fact that the when we're not crying, is like, oh, are we still girl talking in Opian with poor Rai right there?
No. She only did that for like a short bit.
Okay.
She would
yeah.
She will try to find a language that the three of you all speak, and that's what you would be speaking.
Do we all speak Sahir? What is Rai's languages? I think he's probably the most limited between the three of us.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
What does Rai got?
So Leon, Itagaya, and and I can't remember it. It starts with an S.
Senecan?
Yeah.
Okay.
So Common, Itagayan, and I think Sylvan?
Yeah.
Sylvan. Okay. Sylvana does not speak Sylvan.
Neither do I. Common is literally our common language.
Yep.
Okay, so
Yep.
then we're speaking common to each other, which means
Yes.
it is easy to figure out what has just happened. So at this point, Draha already knew, Cedric already knew. So Hedon, V, and Jose are hearing Sylvana, Belle, and Rai essentially talk about wedding plans.
Yeah, and Belle is insisting on going at some point before the wedding, going to Opus, so she can at least introduce you guys to her family. It is like, and she keeps berating Rai about just popping this on her and doing everything in the wrong order.
where Sylvana will basically state that she will not go back to her family until after the ceremony is done.
Yeah.
A wedding? I love weddings.
And it's like, and then there's Belle, who is the perpetual anxiety attack, going, and how do we find Jean-Luc? It's like, I don't know. It's like, I haven't I wasn't even there when he left.
All right.
Oh, V. Bonjour.
Ah,
So at this point, Belle would also probably bring up to the new members of the party that you have someone to speak to tomorrow morning.
Yes. It's like I am promptly changing the subject back into business mode.
Yeah. All right. So with that being said, that is a good point to stop because it is 9 o'clock. All right. So I do want to thank everyone for joining us this wonderful evening. I think we've had a wonderful emotional roller coaster.
We did, yeah.
I dare say the next game will involve most of the party. So that will be a good thing.
Mm-hmm.
So there is that. So there is some news. Congratulations, everyone. You have now hit level 10.
Yay!
All right.
I was so fixing to say it too.
So, make sure you level
Blast.
before next game. All right. So there is that. I will say this: Fedorian Rye, Fedorian and Ange, start
Yeah.
a conversation with me involved on Discord,
Uh-huh.
and
Okay.
we will discuss between the three of us the wedding plans.
Okay.
All right, and I will channel Sylvana in that discussion.
Oh, yes.
So there is that. I will let Anne know what has happened. She will tell me what Draha's response will be. So if she's not able to be at the next game, I will just take the notes that she gives me and iterate everything Draha says and does from what happened in this game.
Right.
All right. So there is that. So anyway, those of you who have been watching this on YouTube, I am very appreciative you've been watching this on YouTube. I know Fedorian has been for taking notes.
And once again, shout out to whoever Enchiduan's friend is that's been listening in. I don't know who you are, but you're awesome. And the secret code word is jam on toast.
Jam
The
on
sleeper
toast.
agent is activated.
Jam on toast. Yeah, and the contest, by the way, for those who you are in the comments section, for getting to name an NPC is, where did that little talking door knocker scene come from? Whoever gets it right, you get to name an NPC. Within reason, I'm not gonna let you name it Farty McFartface or something. Like,
if I like it, I might just get a familiar or something.
yeah,
Just to have him continuously say it.
yeah. But yes, make sure you're taking care of yourselves mentally and physically. That's always important. And I know you guys all come to my wonderful Resplendent Tavern for the witty banter, but you stayed to light the place on fire with fireballs and to throw facehuggers around for my torture. I hope to see you all the next time we have one of these sessions. Toodles.
Later.
Toodly.
Au revoir. Adieu.